is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Surprise again! It's us. 1 o'clock Tuesday. Not our normal time, but we took the day off yesterday for a little Memorial Day vacation. Thanks to all those that have served and paid the ultimate price for serving. You're looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, where it's 88 degrees. Feels like 94. The high today is 94. The low tonight is 75. Joined here, I'm Shannon Gross, joined by Jesse Holley to my right, Nate Newton across from me, empty chair next to Nate. Kurt had to go take care of some business, but he sent us a big old long lineup that I will read all of these points off as we go. What's your shirt say there, Jess? Unity? Yeah, like Kunatifa. U-N-I-T-Y. Well, U-N-I-T-Y. That's a unity. You got a good voice there. Got some good pipes on you. Let's go. All right, Nate, before we get into football talk, I think we need to address something on this show.
Are you human?
We got another random text over the weekend. What day was that, Jesse? Saturday? Friday?
Like last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday evening, yeah.
Now,
let me just read it.
We did a show Tuesday, right? We did a show a week from today, last Tuesday.
Yeah. Right.
Then Wednesday morning, we get this random, and when I say random, I do mean random text message from none other than Nathaniel Newton. And it's a picture of Nate on the road again. But not just...
Here, if you can switch to my camera, here's the picture.
But not just any old...
Hang on, let me zoom in on this.
Kind of road thing. Not, hey, guys, I'm in Mesquite. Or, hey, guys, I'm in Grand Prairie. Or, hey, guys, I'm going up north. No. We get a picture of Nate on his way to San Diego.
That says Gila Bend, 34 miles, Yuma, Arizona, 149, and San Diego, 326.
So I'm like, it's Wednesday. I had to Google it. I go, how far is San Diego?
Wednesday at 11:59 a.m.
It's an 18-hour drive from Dallas to San Diego.
Which he sent this at noon. That means he started in the middle of the night on Tuesday.
Like, I want to get to the bottom of, like, what comes over you? Like, is it, like, are you sleepwalking?
No, it's just...
Do you just, like, what is it? Like, what is it that just makes you...
And how far out do you plan it? Do you just wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I'm going to go to Mexico tomorrow?
I'll tell you the story.
Okay.
A gentleman gave me two animals, and I brought them back.
No, stop.
Animals.
We're not doing this again. Last time you went to Mexico to see a man about a dog. My grandma's always say that.
I got my truck checked three times.
You drove all the way to Mexico to see a man about a dog, and we have internet. We have Wi-Fi. We got Zoom, FaceTime, Skype. Yeah. You don't have to drive 200, 400 miles to see a man about a dog.
Yeah, well, I chose to drive 1,200 miles, 1,300 miles. What happened was the dogs, they're not physically stable. So I told him, I said, man, your dogs are not physically stable at this time. He
said, you a veterinarian on the side?
No, I took him to spend about $300 in X-rays to find this out. Anyway. And he said, well, Nate, do what you want. I said, no, sir, you gave me these dogs. I didn't buy these. This gentleman gave me these dogs. So I said, I felt compelled. I said, you need to look at your dogs. He's been in dogs 48 years. You need to have these dogs. You can do something unique with these animals. And so he told me, they say, hey, man, well, Friday. But, I said, well, I'll be there Friday. He said, no, man, I got to go handle some business Friday. I said, okay, no problem. I said, expect me before Friday then. Is that cool? He said, yeah. So when we left the show, I went home about hour or two, chilled out, and I just jumped in, put the dogs in the back of the truck, and we took off.
What kind of dogs are these, if you mind me asking?
It's American Pit Bull Terriers.
Okay.
Yeah. So we took off. I took them back. They stopped me. When I got there, it was so funny because I stopped. I brought him. He was shocked. I said, "Hey man, I'm outside San Diego." He said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I'll be over in Mexico in a few." So I got over to Mexico, met him. He was in the middle of some business. He said, "Man, it's gonna take me 30 minutes to get to you." I said, "Bro, take your time. I mean, I don't drove this far. Take your time." And so he finally got to me. Then he said, "What are you finna do? You gonna spend the night with me?" I said, "Nah, I'm gonna hit on back." So I got back in the car. I spent more time in the
Customs
line going back because I told the ladies, because I ain't gonna lie. I could have said, "Yeah, I've been there 4 hours," but they got me coming just 2 hours earlier through the thing on camera. So I said, "Nah, man, I think I spent about 3 hours, maybe 3.5. And I said, "I'm on my way back." She looked at me.
Yeah.
She said, "Sir, no. You ain't just went and visited a man for no 2 or 3 hours." I said, "Ma'am, check the truck." They check me in the primary line. When you're separating to get into a line, the guy checked me with his dogs and everything. I said, "Ma'am, you free to check the truck." She just looked in there like, because they got it all there. You lie if you want.
No, but you understand why, right?
Yeah,
you understand, you understand why they stop you and do these things.
They're like, you can't go to Mexico that quick and turn around and come back that quick, and something ain't right.
Yeah, that's mule activity. Yeah. That's mule activity.
Yeah.
That's
But I done did this like 2 times already, 3 times already.
Unless you go down there, like you go to TJ from San Diego to go drinking for a few hours. But,
right.
But that's not in the middle of the day.
That's TJ to right back. That's an hour?
Right.
If that, maybe.
If that, yeah.
Depending on where you're staying at. You're talking about.
Man, but this dude stay right on the ocean, man. Right outside. He don't stay on the ocean.
How'd you meet this guy?
Pablo.
Just a long time ago, man, when I used to be in the American Pit Bull Terrier on the wrong side of the business. Mm-hmm. I kept a few friends. I'm not on that side of the business no more, but every now and then I like to raise a few pups, just look at them, And
you said you got stopped 3 times.
Well, the thing about it, they don't really stop me because the guys, once I get to El Paso, those guys know me because they done took pictures of me going. And when I'm going back, when I open my van, when I pull up with my van, they're like, "What's up, Mr. Newt? How you doing?" "All right, have a good day."
When do you sleep? Where do you sleep? How long do you sleep?
Well, what it is, when I was going, I pulled over probably about 2 or 3 in the morning, and I got a couple hours of sleep, then just hit back on the road. But I'm going to tell you, man, that's hard to do because I'm a big guy. And I like bathing because big guys, after about 24 hours, don't smell right. So
got a little day on you. Got a little day on you.
Oh, bro, you what they call it, gooch.
The gooch.
The gooch was live when I got to the crib. I was so happy to jump in the shower. I got back home by 4 in the morning. First place I got in was the shower, man.
Man, it just always amazed me how you just get up and just go. and then
just
random as if gas prices aren't $11.
You know what? You try to get a plane. At first, I say, man, it's easier to fly because at first it was. You get a $300-$400 flight round trip in it, just in a little city or something. Nah, the little city's costing you $700-$800. So you spending the same.
But you don't like to fly anyway, do you?
No, I like to be in control. And if I get tired, I pull over. I don't mess around. Everybody like, oh, no, I'm pulling over.
I know we talked about this before. Are you scared to fly, or you just don't like to fly?
I'm scared of it. I don't like it. You ain't in control.
Did you?
It seems like every time I get on the plane, I'm gonna get either the baby crying, or I'm gonna get a lady that wanna. Let a dog lick out the same water she won, and she want to sit him right on the food thing. It's like I'm gonna get the wrong person.
Somebody leaning back in your lap.
Then you leaning back in my lap. I don't even want to get into that. I'll be one sometime. I'll be like, I forgot my knee pads. Because I know if I sit down behind somebody, they're gonna look at me like, yeah, that's a big guy. Let me get back on it.
When's the first time you ever flew?
The first time I flew was when I went to I think Syracuse, New York.
Mm-hmm.
That was ugly, man. I had never seen so much snow in my life. Mm-hmm. And when I got back, I never That was the first time, like, man, first of all, I don't like flying.
Syracuse has heated sidewalks on their campus.
Yeah.
Do they
Real
really?
story.
Yeah,
They have to have heated sidewalks on their campus. That's how much snow and that's how cold it get. I remember when I was on a recruiting visit to Syracuse.
Really?
They have heated sidewalks on their campus.
So the first time you flew, was that for college?
Yeah, man. And coming out of
That was the first time you ever flew?
Oh yeah.
In college. So did you freak out a little bit?
No, I got on there, man. I was excited. Then when I got up in there, I was like, this ain't what everybody cranked this up to be. You up in the air, and I kind of really rationalized real quick. What if something go wrong? What happens to me? I wouldn't care about the folks. I ain't realize it's gonna happen to everybody. Yeah. And from that point on, man, no,
like
sir.
So you'd rather drive?
I'd rather drive.
What about you? When's the first time you flew, Jess? College?
Nope. High school, AAU trip. My grandmother sold.
You had a lot of them then.
Well, no, we couldn't. I couldn't afford to go to the first couple ones. My grandmother, the last one I really wanted to go to, she sold fish dinners
Right.
to get me to go to Las Vegas to the big time.
You showed up?
Tournament. Yeah, big time tournament in Las Vegas. We flew to California and then drove to Vegas.
Ah.
Yeah.
That is a black culture. We need to help the kids. Get a fish dinner.
Get a fish fry.
Let's get a fish fry going.
She sold. Yup, fish, Whiting's fish.
Yeah.
Whiting's fish sandwiches, greens, macaroni and cheese,
Man,
potato salad.
putting it together, man. Just trying to make something happen.
And raised enough to get you to
Yep, get me to
Vegas. Huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, Nate,
funny.
glad you made it back.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I love getting those random.
Random.
And it's always of a street sign. This one it's a picture pops up and underneath it says, zoom in.
I say enlarged picture. Because I be moving. And one thing I hate to do, even if I'm on the road 9 times out of 10 by myself, I hate to take a picture driving. That's not right. It's not a good thing. So I always make sure I slow down. I want to make sure because I don't want to be, I used to stop, pull over, get out. I'm like, you know what? Not today. I got to go.
Hell, it takes him 15 minutes to send a text message normal. I can't imagine him driving in a car. How
You don't know how many pictures I missed. And I had to get the next. You don't know how many I missed. I said, I thought about you. I said, if Shadow was looking at me now.
Oh, man. Well, glad you made it back safe. And your dogs are back in Mexico, huh?
Yeah, man. Nike and Nikki.
Nike and Nikki.
Nikki.
How long did you have them for?
Since they was like 6 and 8 weeks old, because they 2 weeks apart. One was, there'll be one on the 6th of next month, and one on the 20th of next month. They'll be a year old.
So these are the dogs you went and got the first time?
Yeah.
That we found out about
black man, muscled up. The male, he looked grown. He looked, he looked grown, but he had a little slight hip displacement. And the guys thought he could help it by, him medicating it. I guess in Mexico they got their own little remedies. Mm-hmm. But the female, she done. She got the degenerative back.
Oh.
Yeah, she done. I mean, he may keep her and breed her, but she is done. And she is done.
It's tough. All right. Any more questions about Nate's trip?
Nope.
We got that out of the way?
Nope.
We just had to know, Nate.
My wife won't go on these trips.
Why?
Well, she always claims she got to work.
It's too long? She doesn't like to be in the car that long?
I don't want to go on these trips.
She got a
either.
5 hour minimum. I mean maximum. Yeah, if it's more than 5 hours, she flying.
She's out?
Yeah. And I told my wife that's my minimum. If it's for less than 5 hours, I might as well fly.
So y'all don't ever go together?
If it's less than 5 hours, I'm flying. Why waste your time?
All right. Let's talk a little football, fellas. Should the Cowboys add some depth now anywhere? Linebacker, wide receiver, O-line? Or would they be progress stoppers for the guys that they got in here?
At this point in time of the offseason, most of the guys that are left are aging veterans, right? Are guys who are ring chasing, maybe.
Yeah.
Guys who are on that last leg, maybe got 1 to 3 years left in the National Football League, can probably be a good rotational piece. So there isn't any guys, to me, when you look around the league that are saying these guys aren't necessary progress stoppers. I'm a fan of always adding veteran talent to areas, one where you're either really, really, really young at, or positions where you have a bright future at. For example, linebacker, right? Your future is bright with a guy like Micah Parsons at linebacker, and then you have the LSU kid coming back, Jabril Cox coming back next year. So that's still a relatively young position, but a bright position. So adding a veteran linebacker, a guy who is and these guys that you add on now, Jason Garrett used to have the kind of conversation about the RKG, right kind of guy. Right. These are the kind of guys that you have to add to your roster now, right? Because what I don't need to add a guy who's going to filter in the bad parts of the National Football League into my young players. But what I would like is maybe there's a veteran guy that's out there. You say, you know what, this guy can really come in and continue to show Micah Parsons, because I truly believe Micah last year was doing a lot of just pure athleticism. I'm 6'3", I'm 245, 50 pounds, I run 4.3, and I'm just a dog. But that guy who can come in and say, but let me show you this, young fella. Let me show you this, what this defensive coordinator normally does here. Let me show you what this quarterback, and breaks the game down to Micah. And because at times, and I can use Des Bryant as an example, when you're so gifted, you sometimes lack the ability to learn the game from a X's and O's type stance. You rely a lot on just natural talent. You understand the game, but you don't understand the small details, minute details of the game. So you rely on that. You rely on that talent to just get you over. And for those guys like a Dez, like a Micah Parsons, hell, for a long time, like a Randy Moss type player, where they just so dominant, they just like, listen, line up here and run straight. We got you. We'll take care of the rest. It's when you come to that latter part of your career, and then now you're trying to transform your game to adjust because you lost the athleticism and you're not as fast, or the league is kind of caught up to your talent. Or
better still, if you get into the playoffs where your talent is equaled.
So I think, to answer your question, the long version of it is, yes, adding pieces now can be a positive thing. I don't think it's a progress stopper, because I'm not adding a guy who's looking to start. I'm not adding a guy who's looking to have Micah Parsons type minutes. I'm adding a guy who's going to be rotational. I'm adding a guy who's going to be a good guy in the locker room, who's going to show my young pups how to study, how to take care of their body, how to be a professional, how to practice every day, how to prepare for games, and to be that extension of me in the locker room, on the field, on the plane, in the classroom.
Coach Quinn.
Right? Of all of these things. So I look at that wide receiver group. That's a relatively young group when you think about it. This is my first time for CeeDee Lamb to be the number one. People can say whatever they want. That is a different type of pressure and thing that you have to take on. Gallup is going to be a little while before he gets back. James Washington is a veteran guy, but after that, you got a bunch of young guys that you have to now get ready. And so is CeeDee Lamb to a point where, what is this, year 3 for him?
Yeah, it's year 3. He moved next to Dak.
Even in year 3, he's not in the position to where he's really taking dudes under the wing like Amari did him. And really being able to coach them up on coverages, tendencies, quarterbacks, defensive coordinators, down and distance, point in time to the game, because he's still learning. So when you add a veteran guy into the mix like that, now that guy is able to say, hey, listen, here, that, look at this. So adding veteran guys at this point in time of the year, to me, I think it can't hurt your football team if it's the right kind of guy.
Yeah. What do you think, Nate?
I agree 100%. There's nothing I can add. But I will say this right here. Let rookies be rookies. You know, and that's what a veteran guy can help a rookie be a rookie. And what I mean by that is, this is how we act. You know, for so many years, once a guy talks to ownership, management, or whatever, the guy go from being happy to get drafted to, hey, I'm a Cowboy. So I'm hoping they bring guys in here that are mild-mannered and about their business.
In 2 months.
Yeah.
That happens in 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be drafted. I'm happy to be here till I'm a Cowboy.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, man, and that hurts. So I'm with you, Jess. We need guys that going to be grinders. Like I read someone, is it Javon Curse? Mm-hmm. I read an article, man, it's so sweet to hear him saying.
Oh, no, J-Rod.
J-Rod.
His uncle is Javon Curse.
Mm-hmm. Brother, that was so refreshing that a guy said, man, I got a lot more to give. I got a lot more to learn. I got to go. I got to be there. That is refreshing because we normally don't get that around here, you know, that ability to want to learn more and be better. And I'm with you, man. We don't bring a guy. You ain't finding nobody in the league better than this kid, Parsons, athletically. You ain't finding nobody better, but you can find somebody that can teach him and help him be even better. So I'm with you, man.
Sean Lee, if you're not doing nothing, come on, come through. Come on. Come be our Udonis Haslam. Just right.
Come ride the bike during practice.
Just be here every day. Just be here.
And be happy to get in the game with a minute left.
Just be here.
I'm sorry. Hey, man.
Oh, by the way, congratulations.
On what's that, right?
Your Celtics made it.
You know what, man? Jason Tatum, I love you. Brown, I love you. But, man, can y'all learn how to dribble? Can y'all just learn how to dribble? Smart, I love you. But 2.5 3-pointers with a minute and a half left, and you the point guard, you know to slow down and kill some clock, and they got momentum. And that other kid was in a rhythm. I thought he was going to crush us when he shot that 3-pointer.
Butler.
Oh, he was in a rhythm. I mean, I don't want to even get into that, man, but I worry so much about these young Cowboys, man, that, you know, I just want them to be so good and to be so great because the number one thing I worry about, are they going to surround Parsons with enough talent so he can just be all world? That's my first deal. And are we going to run the ball enough to give Dak opportunity to help? You know, and if we can do that, Jess.
That was a wild transition. I thought you were talking about the Celtics. I was like, wait a second.
But I ain't finna.
Just
because, bro, I won't stop. I won't stop, Jess. I will. It'll be like you talking about your Tar Heels. I will not stop. So I had to get off of them real quick.
By the way, you brought up J-Ron.
J-Ron Curse.
Saw him last week in the locker room, and I told him you gave him a nickname. He goes, "What's that?" And I said, "He calls you Straight Jacket." He started laughing, and I said, "When does the switch flip, man?" He's like, "Man, when I leave the locker room and I go out for warm-ups." He's like, I was like, "So it's not like a whole game day thing?" He's like, "No, man. If you saw me in the car," he's like, I'm driving, I'm just chill, you know, I'm singing, I'm just real chill. He's like, but when I walk out of that locker room to go out on the field, it's like, so we're going to have to do some social media posts.
Hey,
call
man.
it Straight Jack. All right, we'll take our first break.
That would be kind of dope. Like you have him walk out of the tunnel like as J-Ron, and then like it kind of like shh, and then flashes, and then you have him like in the straight
trying
jacket.
to get out,
run it down. Like have him in the straight jacket, and then he like breaks out and runs to the field. You're welcome.
Thanks. We'll work on that. Thanks, Jess. We'll credit you with
Man,
that.
but I'm going to tell you what, man.
At the bottom, at Mr. Forte.
That's another reason I don't like flying, because you be, man, somebody put a straight jacket on me, I know I ain't going to be right. Especially when it's all over.
if you don't go first class, like I can't imagine you sitting coach.
I battled through, man, and that's when I got tired of the cats, tired of everybody, baby. And everybody want to show. I have nothing against children, infants, but okay, your baby crying, but don't face him towards me and try to make me the big play. But the baby's scared to death of this big old black dude. The baby's scared to death.
Quick little update on a signing that impacts us, but it's not for us. But it impacts us. And it's another welcome to the NFL moment for our guy, Tyler Smith. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers just signed Akeem Hicks to a 1-year, $10 million deal. So Tyler Smith in week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will have to face Vita Vea and Akeem Hicks. Welcome to the NFL, young fella. Saddle up.
Punch, man. Direct, straight, punch, right left.
Small, right?
Yeah,
Punch small, right?
Punch small, and you'll hit big.
All right, we'll be right back.
Wow.
Take our first break. When we return, the People Show, Hanging with the Boys.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the Never mind. Let me just tell you about Wingstop. It's where flavor gets its wings, and they sponsor this show. Let me tell you about youth camps, too. Registration is open for Dallas Cowboys Youth Academy camps presented by Invisalign. Don't miss the chance to learn from former Dallas Cowboys players and current Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Visit dallascowboys.com/academy to learn more and to secure your spot today. And today's second segment, blockchain.com. This second segment is brought to you by blockchain.com.
Blockchain.com. What's up, Danny McCray? Shout out to Danny, who runs the camps.
Yeah. Good old Danny.
I saw him coming in today.
Did you?
Yeah, he was coming in with his gentleman. I don't know who the other gentleman was.
Oh, well, yeah. What's up, Danny? On contributing member of, what's the name of their Players Lounge?
The Players Lounge.
Yeah. There you go. All right, fellas.
I got to parlay my way into a nice gig up here.
You got a nice gig.
This is a great gig.
You're on Hanging with the Boys.
But you got to step further.
$10 a day.
$10 a show ain't going.
Ain't cutting it?
The way gas is going
gas is going right now?
You ain't no.
Yeah.
I got to sell a little something on the way back home to get to the crib. Stop down there on Harry Hahn to see if I can, you know what I'm saying?
Stop by the trailer park.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's getting hot, too. Some of them trailer parks don't double wide, don't have no AC.
Ooh.
The AC go out in that double wide, boy.
Ain't nothing good coming out of there.
And talk about the gooch. Whew. The gooch is loose. That double wide when the AC go out. Ain't enough windows in that spot to get enough cool air through there, boy.
All right, let's move on. Nate, you brought it up. CeeDee Lamb moved lockers next to Dak. How big of a deal is that? Is it a big deal?
I got to ask the wide receiver that because I definitely, I ain't want nothing to do with no quarter. I was right across from Troy.
Linemen don't talk anyway, so I don't think
we talk to each other.
We have fun with each other. Linemen sit together.
Yeah.
Linemen sit together. This is not.
They grunt. They just grunt.
This is not a big deal. This is not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. And don't try to make it as if this is some, wow, look at Dak and his great leadership. CeeDee becomes the new number one. He wants to close. No, it's not that at all. You know what it is? You want the honest to God truth? Here's what it is. While Dak may like all his teammates and love all his teammates, I don't want the weird dude who I don't know sitting next to me. I don't want to have to walk in here every morning because eventually what's going to happen is there's only a certain amount. Every person, like right now, the rookies, as you know, if you're going to locker room right now, the rookies are splitting lockers, right? Mm-hmm. The rookies are, or they're in the visiting.
They got them in the back.
In the back, or the visiting team locker room, right? Mm-hmm. So you're not even allowed to even be with the regular folks up front just yet until you earn the star. But once the season comes, I don't want the random dude sitting next to me. I don't want the 4th string tight end sitting next to me. I don't want the 8th, 9th offensive lineman over here by me. I don't want the fat guy over here by me.
Right.
No, I want somebody who I'm familiar with.
Stinky gooch guy.
No, you don't want that guy.
Yeah.
So this ain't wow, look at Dak. Dak is a great leader. This ain't one of those moments right here.
It's just like, I know CD pretty well.
I know CD.
He comes to my house.
That's right.
Works out. We got things in common.
Because what I don't want the rookie who they can't find a locker for, and I'm the only open locker over here. He's now sitting by me, or some dude. Like I said, the 4th string. What is Dak and the 4th string tight end gonna talk about?
Not much, probably.
Nothing.
Yeah.
The 4th string tight end is not invited to the outings. Now, if Dak throws a big cookout at the house and everybody's invited, yeah, you get a chance to come. But they're going to ask you at the door, like, who are you? Oh, okay, come on. Like, you're not one of the regulars. You don't get the invite to the Dak dinner. You know what I'm saying? He ain't asking you to come to his charity event, right? You're the 4th string tight end. You're not getting those invites. I'm sorry. You're not getting those invites. And guess what? When you get on the practice field, guess who can't go with the 1st string quarterback? You 4th string tight end. When y'all doing pat and go and one-on-ones and all that kind of stuff, and you come up, you know what Dak says? Get back, bro. Someone else get up here. Or he goes, oh, nah, come on, Mike White. You throw to this guy. I'm not even throwing to this guy. So why would I want him to sit next to me? So it's not a big deal.
Can you imagine? He's sitting at a 4th string tight end. Hey, Dalton, hey, man, we doing that tonight, right? He's sitting there.
No, that's what happens. I don't need the 4th string tight end coming in saying, hey, Dak, hey, would you sign this ball for me every single day? The veteran guys know. The veteran guys know when to how to ask. They know it's going to come a point in time in the season where we're going to sit in the middle of this locker room. Mr. Jones and the company going to have a bunch of helmets and a bunch of footballs in the middle of this locker room, and we're going to sign. We're going to pass it around, carousel sign. We all going to sign.
Right.
Here's your opportunity right now, son. Go grab whatever helmets you may have gotten.
Sneak mine in.
Right before Christmas come and say, hey, man, can you sign these 2 footballs for me? Can you sign this jersey for me? What I don't need is in week 8, you asking me to sign footballs. I don't need that 4th string tight end. I don't need that backup defensive end. I don't need that 9th cornerback. So I put CeeDee Lamb right next to me because he knows and I know we're on the same page. We're on the same, as far as status level. We're on the same kind of status level, right? Like people pay to see us. We're on the marquee. We both drive really nice cars, live in really nice houses. You ain't gonna bum me for nothing. I ain't gonna bum you for nothing. And then when we go to Papa Do's or we go to Papa Bros, you actually can come with us and eat. And I know your name and you have my phone number. I don't want the guy who's sitting next to me that don't have my phone number.
Nate, you agree or disagree with you?
Yeah, I'm with it, man. Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
And the 4th string quarterback ain't.
And I'm speaking from experience now. Don't think for one second because me and Tony had to play together that we became besties. No, we didn't. At all. I never got invited to golf. I never got invited to smoke cigars or drink wine or to the sketches party or any of those other things. And I never got none of that. He see me in the locker room. We speak. We're cordial. I go to work. He go to work. I don't get that invite. You know who got the invite? Miles Austin got the invite. Jason Witten got the invite. I'm not mad. I knew my place. And I sat next to Jason Witten. And it's only because that was the only locker that was left open by the corner where he always wanted to sit at. So I'm not telling y'all something I don't know. Tony and I are not like best buds. I never got invited out to go or anything like that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom from Jesse Holly. It's not leadership. It's I don't want to sit next to the weird guy.
I don't want to sit next to the weird guy. I don't want Jesse sitting next to me asking me for an autograph for his auntie. No, I don't want it.
All right. Thanks, Jesse. I never looked at it that way, but
yes, Dak's a great leader. He made CD come sit by him so they can go over plays.
I like it.
Sure.
Like it. All right. Kurt gave us a list. He got all kind of points here, so I'm going to try to get to all of them just because he's not here today with us and he put in all this work in his time off. He says CBS Sports ranked Cowboys triplets Dak, Zeke, and CeeDee Lamb 7th in the NFL behind the Chargers, the Bengals, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Bucks, and the Rams. Do you guys agree? Should they be ranked 7th? He also said that if Pollard were the lead back, they might rank higher. What's written in that article? Because at one time, I think you can make the claim that they were top 5, maybe top 3. A few years back when you had Dak, Zeke, and
Amari.
Maybe Amari. Yeah.
Sure.
Now have they fallen to 7th? Chargers, which would be what? Eckler,
Herbert, and Allen,
Mm-hmm.
or Williams, however you want to do it.
Right. Bengals, Jamar Chase.
Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
Burrow, of
Yep.
course.
Bills, Chiefs, Bucks, and Rams.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's where you put them?
That sounds about right. And it's more so name recognition.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more name recognition than anything. Like, those are 3 names that you kind of know that fits with the rest of those guys. If you there's probably other teams who had a trio of players who may have produced, more numbers or better numbers. But when you look at just the name of it, sure, 7th is fine.
I find that conversation kind of interesting because and maybe this is just my perception, but it seems to me like in recent years, everyone has a solid 3 on offense, as to where like 10 or 15 years ago, there were only, to me, it seems like there were less teams with 3 really high-profile guys at those 3 skill positions. And now it's like almost every team's got 3 really good guys at, quarterback, receiver, running back. It's almost like, teams have invested in that.
And unless you're the elite quarterback, it's going to still come down to how great your offensive line is, unless you're that elite quarterback. So.
Is Brady still elite?
Yes.
With the quickness. Yes. Yes. I don't even have to ask about the guy in Green Bay. Yes.
Quirky and all. I love him. Quirky and all.
Who, Aaron Rodgers? You know what? If you hate Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, I almost have to question
why
your football. Like, I can't even really have a real conversation. Like, you can hate them, but if they're on your rival team, like if you're in the
Bears,
if you're in the NFC North, yes, hate Aaron Rodgers. If you're a Saints fan, yes, hate Tom Brady or their old
Jets.
division.
Jets,
but like, if you just hate them because they're so good, like I don't even think I can talk to you, because if you can't appreciate, that'd be like saying I hate Barry Sanders because he's so good. I hated Jerry Rice because why do you hate greatness? Like, you should admire, like, you actually get to watch these guys do it, and you don't have to talk about them like Johnny Unitas or Bart Starr. Or, you're living in the moment, getting to watch the greatest of all time do this in real time. How can you hate that? Like, I've never understood that argument.
Don't know.
Like, do you enjoy seeing greatness even if they're not on your team? And I guess that's any sport: basketball, baseball, football, hockey.
And Nate, you can attest to this. There are players in this league. I'm sure it's that way in every league. But there are players in this league, as an offensive guy, right? When your team is out there on defense and you're playing Aaron Rodgers or you're playing Joe Montana, you ain't sitting on the bench. You're kind of you're on the sideline like, Hey, I
don't want to miss something.
Dexter Coakley, come on, brother. Hey, dog, do you see Joe Montana? Do you see Jerry Rice? Like, there's players like I used to stand up and want to go watch Adrian Peterson in his prime. Tom Brady, Randy Moss. When we played against certain teams, it was like as soon as, because, right, you get off the field, got to come to the sideline. You got to be there with your receiver coach doing his little thing about the last series, if you scored, if you didn't score, whatever. As soon as that is over,
you watching?
I'm on the sideline watching. Not at the Jumbotron. I'm on the sideline like, let me see what this dude get ready to do. And when Megatron used to come to town, and we had to go. I'm going to watch. I'm going to see what Megatron go out there and do. So if you don't like greatness, that's something that's in you. But even when Megatron was kicking our butt one game, and he had a touchdown with 3 guys, and I was like, y'all see that? Damn, he's good.
I'll tell you what, man. I remember the Barry Sanders NFC game. I think it was in the semifinals, man. Boy, Barry Sanders was putting it on us, man. And I thought I was the only one sitting there saying, wow. I don't know who was standing there and be like, man, did you just see that? I'm like, that's why I'm standing over here.
You trying to get your boy like to come up. It's okay, fellas. Here we go. We're going to get it back.
I didn't even say nothing.
Nah.
I didn't even say that because our defense was so – the airhead went out of them so bad. Sometimes, you try to pat somebody, they know it's consolation pat because it's over. Yeah. It's just a consolation pat.
Who was the one guy back in your day you would have paid money to go see?
Joe Montana.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad I was at them games.
Yeah. Who's your top 5?
Joe Montana.
Okay.
Brett Favre. Randy Moss. That's about it right now I can think of.
That's your 3. Barry wouldn't have been in there?
Yeah, Barry Sanders. Yeah, he was in there. Barry, Brett Favre, Joe Montana. And Randy Moss. I'm telling you, you got to be a bad man when you can holler at your quarterback, hey, man, I got him. And he point at you, you have to be a bad man. For somebody to point at you, you already 15 yards back, and he point over his quarterback.
How does that DB feel when that happens? It's like, oh,
I would have just started backing up. I would have said, you know what? We're going to race to the goal line.
Getting your track stance.
Yeah, man.
Who's your top 5?
Aaron, Tom, Randy, Ray Lewis.
Ooh, he was nice.
Aaron, Tom, Randy, Ray Lewis, Darrelle Revis.
He was nice, man.
That's interesting.
He was nice.
Who's somebody you wish you would have seen play in person?
Michael Irvin. I wish I would have been on the sideline and listened to Mike go at it in a game. Like just to hear it,
like a playoff game or
just a regular season game.
Wouldn't matter.
I just want to see him, like what it was like, his intensity, right? Like what happens when they go on 2 series and he ain't got the ball. I want to hear what that sounds like.
Axe getting wore out.
Yeah,
wide receiver coach.
Like I want to hear what that sounds like. I want to hear
hard.
when he gets his second touchdown of the game and he's coming on the sideline and he's MFing. I want to hear that. Like I want to hear, to your point, my first year in the league, I was with Cincinnati, and Chad Johnson was that way. Chad Johnson would be like, "Yee, come here, stand right here. I'm running a 12-yard curl," and would tell the guy, "I'm running a 12-yard curl."
He tell the defender?
Tell the defender, "Hey, come here, stand right here in front of me. No, don't back up, stand right here. I'm running the curl," and run a curl. Like that's how nasty Chad was. Like he would have this thing. Like he would go to Carson. He would go yee. Like this man to man. Like yee. Let's go 9. Yeah, and that used to be fun to watch. To stand there, and he'd be like, no, don't back up. Bring your beep up here. No, you talked all that. To watch him do the Pepto-Bismol. To the DBs.
Right.
When we first got there, I remember all the rookie DBs had a Chad Johnson player card in their locker, signed by Chad, and a little note. And so the funny part about it, he would put the note and then put the card on top of the note. So what do you have to do? You got to pick the card up to read the note.
Right.
And once you pick the card, so you got the card in one hand, it was genius. You pick the note up and it says, "Welcome to the NFL. Enjoy this moment. This will be the last time you ever put your hands on me." As you're holding his player card. To all the rookie DBs, it was like, enjoy this moment. This will be the last time you'll ever put your hands on me.
Wow.
And then to watch him go out there and actually dice jokers up. Like that was fun to watch.
There anybody that you didn't get to see play? Any old school guys, Nate? That you?
Yeah, this one here, real old. I wouldn't mind to see Johnny Unitas play, man. That dude was passing when it wasn't right. He was passing the rock when it wasn't right. And I would just like to see what he went through because he got hit. He got plastered, and he still threw this ball, man, and still got good records to this day. So I think about him a lot. Like, man, I would mind meeting him, and I wouldn't mind seeing him play in that era of football. I bet it was ugly. Johnny Unitas, yeah.
That'd have been your guy.
And I wish I could have saw Tony Dorsett play as a young stud.
Did you play with Tony?
Yeah, I played a couple of years, but I wasn't good. I wasn't Nate then. When I got to be Nate, Tony was gone. I sure wish I could have been Nate while Tony was here. You know what I'm saying?
Think about having on your defense. You had the mouth of Charles Haley, right?
Yeah.
You had the mouth of Deion Sanders,
right?
Who else you had?
That's about James Washington. He wasn't a well-known player for his, but James Washington.
Think about I would love to hear that conversation. Like I would love to hear John Randall get going, or one of those guys get going talking. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But
I'm gonna tell you, John Randall was a pain, verbally and physically. That's bad. When you verbally and physically, like your boy, the wide receiver,
Chad Johnson.
that ain't nothing worse than getting beat up by somebody that's talking to you.
Who was the biggest trash talker, defensive lineman that you faced?
It was John Randall.
It was him?
Oh, my God. Never stop talking, man. Big Noon, you all right? Da, 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 da. He never really cussed or nothing like that. Just holler, scream, talking to you just constantly. I almost got you there. Da, da, da. I'm looking like, yeah, he did.
Did you talk back or did you just
No. They're like, Big Noon, you never talk. So I'm trying to save my breath to keep blocking you, bro. If you shut up, we'll be all right over there.
Was that back in the day? Did you guys, like now it's all, rainbows and unicorns and hugs and kisses after the game?
Nah.
Well, y'all, it was all business, right?
No.
You see them in the off season, you say hi, but after the game?
We man, buy you a beer, have fun, talk. But, man, I wasn't feeling John Randall. I wasn't feeling Reggie White, Jerome Brown. I wasn't feeling none of them guys. E.J. Jr., I wasn't feeling none of them. I wasn't even feeling the minister, Reggie White. Bless his heart, he's no longer with us. I wasn't feeling none of them, man. These dudes had the ability to take you out of your career. I play against some Hall of Famers week in and week out, and they could literally just, and the way this media was today, this media nice compared to what Galloway would put on you.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever listed out the number of Hall of Famers you played against?
Nah.
We need to do that one day on the show.
Nah.
I bet that's a long list.
I play against some Hall of Famers, man, and
we need to get Kurt.
And I'm gonna tell you the one, the late
Kurt,
Jerome Brown. No, the late Jerome Brown. I hadn't seen that man until number 99 showed up with the Rams. Now, number 99 is a better athlete, faster, quicker, not stronger, but faster, quicker, not more powerful. Jerome Brown was a different player. He was a different player. He wasn't nobody blocking him. Wasn't nobody blocking him. Nobody was blocking this kid. Not no center, not no guard. Not when he wanted to play. That's why I tell folks during the Super Bowl when they was allowing him to be doubled, when they was allowing number 99 to be doubled, I said, watch, by the time the end of the game, they're going to put a guy on the inside of him and a guy on the outside of him. And this guard finna get punished. Boy, when it got crunch time, one-on-one. And what can you do? Nothing. You had the mercy.
And he's back.
Yes, he is.
And we get to play him and practice against him.
Good luck. Liam Nielsen would say, good luck.
All right, we'll be back for the last segment of the People Show.
Johnny Unitas, baby.
The most searched show on YouTube on the Dallas Cowboys Podcast Network. We'll be right back on Hanging with the Boys.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
How great would it be to travel to watch the Cowboys win on another team's turf? Pretty great. But honestly, just watching the game from anywhere but your house would be fun. Even a hotel bar with some guy named Phil from St. Louis who thinks Oakland still has a team. So whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching grandma how to video call and teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Welcome back to Hanging with the Boys. Sponsored by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. The most searched show on YouTube on the Dallas Cowboys podcast network, the People Show. Welcome back. And before we get out of here, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit. Tragic event that happened last week. Not too long after we got off the show in Uvalde, Texas, South Texas, talking about the mass shooting at the elementary school there in Uvalde. Thoughts and prayers with all the families and people, that the community, just everything involved. A lot of athletes have spoken up about this, a lot of people in general. And one thing that when you're on a podcast, you're on a show about sports, there's always this kind of, you want to bring up current events. You want to talk about things. A lot of people, sometimes you talk about politics and beliefs and things like that. And a lot of people are just like, stick to sports. I listen to y'all to talk about football. I don't want to talk about this and that. But with this kind of happening, in South Texas, kind of in our own backyard, I think it's something that, one, we should talk about, and two, as athletes, you guys as athletes and former athletes, Jesse, you're very vocal on your platforms about things you believe in and things you believe right and wrong. Nate, you're kind of behind the scenes and you kind of stay out of the throwing your opinions around a lot. But y'all got two very different outlooks on kind of how y'all handle things outside of sports. So just wanted to get your opinions on, Jesse, you can go first. When things happen in the world, and athletes speak up and use their platforms and things like that, some people stick to sports, stick to football, do whatever. What do you think, or do you think athletes have an obligation to speak their mind? Do you think, and I think a lot of it's personality driven, how you believe in certain things. But what's your outlook when it comes to, things that happen and how you believe and how you use your platforms to talk about those things?
I think with this celebrity, right? With this, to whom much is given, much is required. Mm-hmm. And so when you're giving these platforms, when you're able to say, I am Jesse Holley, I am Nate Duke, and you have thousands of people who follow you, who listen to the things that you say, whether they agree or don't agree, they still listen. when there's matters such as this, I think it is your obligation. Now, you're not required to do anything, but I do think that there is an obligation for your voice because there is an influence that you have. And just as when you see some of these, when you start reading the manifestos of these terrorists, these murderers, there was somebody that influenced them. There was a group of people, a person, whatever, ideology that influenced them to do evil. So why not use your platform to influence those to do good? And we sometimes don't know when or who is listening. And if we can say something that may click and may turn a kid from wanting to do something as heinous as what we saw at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, or what we saw in Buffalo at the grocery store. Maybe, but I do think that we are in a position where and I get you have to protect, assets and all that, because you say the wrong thing, you might lose sponsors. You say, sometimes you might lose fans. But at the end of the day, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and be okay with the guy looking back at you. Mm-hmm. And if it's something that's on your heart, if it's something that you really feel passionate about, speak up. Say something about it. And that goes from things on a political level, because everybody wants to say shut up and dribble, or shut up and play football, or shut up and just do sports. But in the same respect, I never tell you, not saying you, but the person who's saying that, I never
shut up and sell hamburgers.
Shut up and do accounting. Right. I never say shut up and do, billing. I never say shut up and do mechanic work. I never say shut up and do heating and cooling. I never say shut up, do welding. So, you can take it however you want to take it, but I do think that there is an obligation for us as athletes, as public figures at times, to voice, especially matters like this, man, to voice the things that are on our heart about the situation and hope that it brings change. Because we've all seen when it comes to social media, you get enough, I like to say, make necessary noise. You get enough noise going, things change. Mm-hmm. You get enough noise from the right people, things change real fast. And if you have that type of influence where people listen to what you say and people are impacted by what you say, then every time you don't say anything, you missed an opportunity to help make change. Mm-hmm. And I think that's an important piece of being the change that you want to see. If you don't want to see this type of gun violence, speak up about it. Because if you're said athlete and you get enough people behind you and we band together, and we've seen it done. That is the democracy of America, is being able to come together and make change for better. And the leaders are the people who have the biggest followings. And so I think in these matters, you can say all you want, shut up and dribble or shut up and do sports, but this is I have to live in this world. I have to live. I work at a school. Literally, I work in a school. So when you hear about someone coming in and shooting up a school, I think about me. Mm-hmm. So if I don't say anything, I'm keeping quiet in a situation that could one day happen to me, to your son, mm-hmm. to your whoever, And so being able to be a change agent is key. And so I speak up on matters that I feel passionate about. And if those that don't like it, cool. Those that do, cool. Those that don't want me to talk, you can always unfollow me. You can always turn me off. You can always unsubscribe. There's a myriad of things that you can do when you don't have to listen to me. And those who want to listen to me, thank you. And we'll continue to try to make change that way.
Anything to add, Nate?
Yeah, the thing is, I just believe this. When those babies and those elderly people got assassinated, that bothered me. And then the first thing I think about is what we don't understand as human beings for one another is, it's not what you do and who you are. Is, do you have a daughter? Do you have a son? Do you have a niece, a nephew, a cousin, a brother?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have this? And just because you play football don't exempt you from having kids and those same people. Just because you do what you do here, Shannon, that don't exempt you from not having a kid. So now I put my kid in that place. I put my mother in that place. Do I want somebody just walking randomly in there and doing these people, assassinating these people? For whatever reason it is. Do I want this happening? No. We are all, if we start respecting each other as humans first, and quit looking at whether I got $1 billion or $5, and just start looking at each other as human beings. That's why I don't say much. And if a person want to front me, then let's have a real talk. Because I asked you first, do you have any kids? Oh, yeah, I have kids. Well, I have kids too. So why do I have to be quiet?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to make you come respect me as a human being. The platform, the Steve Kerr, and I love Jesse all the time because he's always very vocal. Steve Kerr, guys like that have stepped up to the plate. You know, I love it. You know, and whenever I can go in my pocket or be a part of something or walk with something that's safe, I do it. Other than that, I just chill because you're going to have to deal with me on a one-on-one basis. I love to talk to the dude or the young lady who said, hey, shut up and dribble. Shut up. I would like to talk to you personally. I have kids, nephews, nieces, mothers, aunts. What if they were in that school?
Mm-hmm.
And you going to tell me that I should be quiet? No, it don't work that way, man. But I just feel a lot of times, I protect mine, and that's what I try to do, just protect mine.
And even that becomes so difficult, right? Because when you even think about school,
yeah,
you drop off and you're hoping. The last thing in your mind is that your baby is not coming home with you at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like even trying to protect yours, it's out of your hands in certain instances.
How crazy that sound. How crazy that sound. The thing that happened, was it Utah, Montana? Remember that mass shooting 20, 30 years ago?
Colorado, Columbine.
How? See, this is what's bothering me is as of this last major deal in Buffalo and in here, you can't handle that what happened in Buffalo, but what happened to these babies down there down south, this can never happen again. Because first and foremost, you gotta protect your school, and you gotta have people in place that are gonna protect your babies. This, to me, all of it is senseless killing, but over the years, how can this continue to happen? How? It is your kid, my kid. You tell me, hey, man, we need an extra $100,000, and at the end of the year, it's going to be $400,000 or $500,000 to protect this county. You mean to tell me the taxpayers ain't going to give that up? Mm-hmm. So you can't tell me that we can't have people in place. That's what got me. First of all, how he got into school. Second of all, why it took so long for somebody to respond. That's not my place to criticize why it happened, because I don't know how that happened. But how can something like this ever happen again?
And I'm with you, Nate. But like you said, we said this about Columbine.
Yeah, I did. I'm like, this ain't gonna never happen again.
About Sandy Hook, and now we're saying it again.
Yeah. Wow.
Right? Like when you think about it, in a 2-week span, you're talking about 30-something people being tragically murdered at the hands of someone who these young men, young men, in the possession of these.
And you know what? But I'm gonna tell you this now, and this is where I get shot in the head. Excuse me, the bad terminology. This is where I get people coming at me.
Mm-hmm.
Is I ain't about them taking his gun or my gun or your gun.
But before you start with that, this is always a funny thing to me, right? Because people get on certain platforms and they go, taking my guns.
No.
No one is taking your guns. Newsflash.
We just trying to tell you when.
Newsflash.
Yeah.
No one is coming to take your guns.
Thank you.
That is not what this is about. It's about a more detailed and a more stringent process on getting these type of guns, your AR-15s and your automatic machine guns. No one's coming to your home taking your guns. That is not what no one is trying to say. So when you say don't take no one's trying to take your guns. They're just trying to make it a little bit more, or a lot of people are saying, hey, let's make this a little bit more difficult for you to possess a gun like this. When, especially in the state of Texas, when the law just changed a year ago, 18 years old.
You can walk in there and get that type of gun.
18 years old. You can walk in and if you drive down any one of these highways, look at the billboard. There's a gun show in Texas in the DFW every week. 18 years old, and people say all the time, you're 18 years old, you ain't even fully developed yet to make decisions and all that kind of stuff. Why would you want to put in the hands of an 18-year-old a gun of that type of magnitude, of that type of caliber? So no one's trying to take your guns. Let's make this thing a little, because we're the only country that this is happening in.
Every veteran that I've talked to, I'm talking about war veteran, guy that served in the Army before and after wars. Every one of them come to me. I said, man, what do you think about? Because I talked to my friends, what do you think about this? He said, Nate, why are we, now these are veterans, guys that practice with these same weapons we talking about.
For war.
And they saying, why? Why here? Why? And so what's wrong with a shotgun? What's wrong with old regular 22? Oh, 45. What's wrong with it? But these big things where you can stretch out there and hit me in the chest and hit him in the chest with one shot? Why?
With 30, 50, 100-round clips? It's not necessary.
Why, man? Yeah. Keep your gun. Because I believe that you should have that right. People are like, Nate, you ain't a big gun person. No, I'm not. And please forgive me for the terminology that I used earlier. Please forgive me. But if Shannon wants a son to protect his home, Jesse or myself, let that be. But the things that are so obvious, that's work on it. Let's not let, and I tell my wife this, I said, let's not let one of our major people have to lose someone that's close to them before we can get it to the House or to the Senate. And normally that has to happen. Somebody major that the world can identify with before we change something.
Yeah. All right, fellas, appreciate the insight. Good stuff. We are out of here. We'll be back, I guess, next Monday at our normal time, huh? 11 o'clock on
You sure?
Monday.
Unless something changes.
Unless
You
something
sure?
changes, yeah.
Because we've had a possibility of doing, about 15 shows, 10 shows at the minimum. Mm-hmm. How many shows have you think we done on Monday?
This off season?
Yeah, on Monday.
About half. About half.
Y'all, so we'll see y'all. Keep searching. We the number one search. Keep searching.
Watch our social channels. We'll let you know.
You got to search for us. We don't know what day we might be on.
All right, Jesse, good seeing you.
Yes, sir.
Nate, thanks for bringing it.
Hey, be good, Kurt.
Yep,
the
Kurt.
disciple.
Hope everything's going good. Jazzy J, thanks for keeping us on the air in the absence of Chris Beam. William, thanks for keeping the live streams up. We will be back Monday, hopefully. Check it, make sure. 11 o'clock, hanging with the boys.
Water in the can.
We out of here. Bye.
Thanks.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.